Well, welcome. So I figured it'd be easier just to do a quick short video on this rather than try to write a story, because let's face it, I'm terrible at those. So I put a post recently, just not too long ago, about I finally found the program to the first show I ever did at Amador Theater. So I'm going to try and do a quick story about the working up to that. So it was 1984. I was currently married to Kathy. Then it was Kathy Elliott. Maiden name is Kathy Griffin. Anyway, we were married, and I was working in a place called Dold's Workshop in Dublin, and I was doing furniture restoration. I had a friend I went to school with, and I don't know how she found out about Pleasanton Playhouse, but apparently she was involved helping with some of their shows. And I think the show before, no, actually, the show before that was they were working on was, or they were doing was Fiddler on the Roof, and they were looking for a technical director. So she contacted me. Her name was Paula. It was Paula Miller, I think then. Her maiden name is Paula Sweatman. That's how I remember her as. But I think she was, I had to go back and look at the program because it has her married name. Anyway, so she contacted me and said they were looking for a technical director. And I went, wow, I'd love to get involved with theater, but, I don't think I was qualified as a technical director. I said, but, please, when do I need to be, where, and how, and what? So I don't remember the day or the date. And I went down, and I think the first person I may have met was Renee Lewis. And Paula introduced me to her, and I remember going inside the theater, and they had the set for Fiddler going on. I don't recall what the meeting was all about because I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know any of these people. So I sat through it and told them, I was interested in helping in any way I could, but I didn't think I would be the first person they wanted to use as a technical director. So anyway, that show I'm sure closed and they struck it. So then Godspell was getting ready to load in. And I got the dates for, going in and helping with their light hang. And it was kind of funny because I found out they had this really rickety looking structure that you climbed up to get to the lights. And I looked at that and went, oh, I'm for it. So, I had no problem whatsoever climbing up this thing. And I finally found out it was called a telescope. And what it was is it's a structure that was made that had a seat straddle, and then it had an extension ladder that tipped up. And then you raised it up to the height you needed it, and then you go work on the lights. And I don't know if they still make it, but, when you think about it, it's pretty crazy. You just climb up a ladder and you stand inside this bucket and away you went. So I worked with, and they found that I had no problem whatsoever climbing up inside there and working on the lighting. And that's kind of how it all started. And then, of course, we got the lights done, and I was working with their lighting designer. I think it was the first electrician who I was working with, and he told me, plug this in here and run the cables down, and I caught on pretty quickly. And of course, we got that done, doing the focusing. I don't remember if I helped with focus or not, because I was still working full-time in Dublin at the refinishing shop. So I don't recall helping with focusing lights. Anyway, it turned out where Kathy and myself ended up doing the lighting for I shouldn't say that. We were the operators. So what Kathy did is she sat next to me and then wrote down all the cues and what levels because these were what it's called. It's a 2-scene preset board, and so you have faders on the top and faders on the bottom, and you set one, and then you have a crossfader that goes in between them. For those who may not know what that is all about. And we sat in the balcony, which I made on my retirement video. I made a comment about sitting up there, and that's where we ran lights from. Anyhow, so that's where it all started, was that show, and that was in '84. And that's how I got involved, was with a friend of mine, Paula, who was involved with the group at the time. And that's literally how it all started. And then I did that for I don't know how many shows, because it starts to sort of, I don't remember what the next show after that was, but I remember I helped with that show, and the list goes on. And then one of the, I'm going to say the founder of the Pleasanton Playhouse group, which was Bob Lewis, and I know Bob and Renee Lewis were both definitely involved. I don't know the direct history. The story I heard was the city of Pleasanton was doing it, but then when Prop 13 came around, they had to change that, and that's when Pleasanton Playhouse was born. Whether that's true or not, I do not know. That's just the story I heard. And Bob and Renee were the presidents, and vice president. I think one was the president, one was the big. What was Bob? I don't remember. I think he had to do something with the finances. Anyway, so I worked with him a lot, and that's literally how I started working at Amador Theater. So, and let's see, how long is this video? It's about 6 minutes. So anyway, just wanted to give you a brief story about how that started with Godspell, since I did post the program finally. It was by sheer accident that I found it today. I was like, oh, what's in here? And it was in a folder I had. And I was like, oh my goodness, there's the program. So anyway, that's it. I just want to give you the quick story about how that all got started. And please feel free to, of course, make comments. And if there's anything I've left out or missed, which I'm sure I is, because that was 30 some odd years ago, of course. So anyway, that was it. And we'll do some more later on.